Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Workforce Wednesday in the Kentucky Chamber Workforce Center's Bus to Business virtual program series. My name is Harper Smith. I'm the Senior Manager of the Workforce Center, and I help lead the Bus to Business program. I would like to thank our sponsors in this effort, Kentucky SHRM and the AT&T, for their investment in helping to bring classrooms to careers. And I also want to thank the entire team at ULIMI for this virtual event platform. All of our resources on this for these videos are housed on our website as well as on our YouTube channel. They are being broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube right now and will be housed there for rewatching or sharing at a later date. So whether you're one of the over 175 students we have tuning in live with us on March 24th or watching at a later date, thank you so much, and we hope you all learned something new today. Today, we will be hearing from a panel of leaders from the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, or CVG. These leaders come from CVG, Atlas Air, DHL, and FEAM. Our Northeast Talent Pipeline Project Manager, Zach Morgan, will be watching the chat for any questions and direct those at the end of the session during a Q&A session. I will now kick it over to Lindsay Wiggins of CVG. Hey, Lindsay. You are muted.
Mute. Sorry, I'm just getting my screen pulled up. Harper, can you pull up my slide?
Sure. One second. Okay. And just let me know when you want me to move on, Lindsay, and I'll click the slides.
Okay, good to go. Good morning, everybody. My name is Lindsay Wiggins. I work in the Human Resources Department at CVG Airport. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're excited to speak to you about the many different careers we have here on campus. You can go ahead and click next, Harper. So to give you an overview, CVG Airport, we have 70 different employers on our campus. I work for the owner-operator, the Kenton County Airport Board. We have 14,000 employees on our campus, and we're one of the largest jobs hub in the tri-state region. Next. So to give you an overview, we have core employers. Again, I work for the owner-operator. We have the airlines, probably the positions that you're most familiar with, pilots and flight attendants, et cetera. We have our concessionaires, the food, beverage, and retail companies. We have several federal employers on our campus, parking and grounds transportation companies, and also several terminal operation organizations. Next. So I like to share with people that the airport's like its own little city. We have our own police and fire department. We have our own maintenance teams that are responsible for keeping the airfield safe and operational. We have our customer service and housekeeping teams, making sure our terminal buildings are operating in a clean and healthy manner. And of course, we have several administrative type roles, finance, human resources, air service development, et cetera. Next. So again, our passenger airlines, you're probably familiar with several of these companies. If you've flown out of CVG, chances are you've flown on one of these airlines. Some of the different positions within the passenger airlines, we have gate agents, ramp agents, of course, the pilots and flight attendants. We have fueling, de-icing positions, and then also the office administrative type positions. Next. So not going to spend too much time on this slide. You'll be hearing from several leaders from DHL, Atlas, and FEAM today, but just know that cargo employers make up a large portion of our workforce here on campus. Our hospitality employers, several are up on the screen here. You're probably familiar with some of them, Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. Many of these positions host, servers, baristas, chefs, cooks, server, etc. These are the types of positions that you might start in an entry-level role and then move your way up into management. So our hospitality companies, if you're flying in and out of the airport and you might want to grab a magazine or a pillow for your flight, know that we have those stores available. Those types of positions are going to be your sales associates, stock associates, cashiers, warehousing. And again, many positions you'll start entry level and then have the opportunity to grow and move into management positions. So again, our federal employers, we have 3 different agencies here on campus: the Transportation Security Administration, the TSA, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and also the FAA. So some of those positions: air traffic controllers, you might be familiar with those or have at least heard of them. Security inspectors, engineers, different types of technicians and program managers, HR professionals, etc. Our grounds transportation company. So if you fly into the airport and you want to get a rental car, or if you need to get around campus, you can hop on a shuttle bus. Several positions within those companies: reservations, drivers, accounting, management, the shuttle bus drivers, valet attendants, cashier. Next. And then some of our terminal operation companies. You can see here listed on the screen: Trago, Dugan, Schindler, Menzies Aviation. Some of those, the types of positions you'll find within those organizations are listed there to the side: ramp agents, bag handlers, duty managers, again, some fueling and de-icing and aircraft mechanic positions. So this is probably my favorite slide when I'm talking to students. It's really important that we share that you can start in an entry-level type position at the airport. You can take advantage of different learning opportunities across campus. So several of the employers have tuition reimbursement, apprenticeship, co-op opportunities. So while you're in that entry-level position, you're earning a great wage, but you can also take advantage of opportunities to grow and advance your career and have a successful career at the airport. You might start in one company. Say you're starting off at CVG Airport, you might go to work to DHL after you get a degree. We're okay with that. We want to make sure that we keep and retain our talent on campus, and we want to make sure that we're providing you the tools and resources to do that. So here is our career website. We'll make sure we put the link in the chat box for you if it's something that you're interested in, growing or having a career in aviation. I recommend that you check out our website. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. That was great information. Next up, we're going to be hearing from Atlas Air. So we're going to be hearing from Whitney and Ryan, and I will let them take it away. Thanks.
Great, thank you so much. Working to pull this up now. Give me 1 second here. Are you able to see my screen?
Lindsay, Whitney, we see this event actually, not your presentation.
Okay, so give me 1 second here. Try that again. Okay, awesome. Is that better? All right, great. Well, hi, everyone. As Lindsay said, thank you so much for joining us today. We are thrilled to be able to share with you some career opportunities and obviously a little bit more about our companies as well. Everybody knows the Deltas and the Uniteds and the Southwest of the world, but there's a really exciting part of the airline industry and cargo that not too many people are familiar with. So Atlas Air is one of those cargo airlines that we're excited to tell you about. So I'm with Inc. I'm the talent acquisition specialist, one of them on the CVG team. And then I have with me Ryan Piper, who's our senior director of crew scheduling. So I want to start with telling you just a little bit more about who we are. Atlas brings over 25 years of industry expertise, and we are a global leader in outsourced aviation. So what does that mean? We provide cargo services, charter, leasing, so aircraft leasing, and passenger operations to our customers. So we carry everything from the U.S. military to e-commerce, technology, humanitarian aid, perishables, performers, and sports teams, so some VIP clientele. And in doing this, we've developed really high profile and long-term partnerships with our customers. And our mission is very simple. It's to be our customers' most valued partner. Atlas Air Worldwide has 4 key operating subsidiaries, and the companies that make up Atlas Air Worldwide are Atlas Air, Polar Air Cargo, Southern Air, and Titan Aviation. And with that, I'm actually going to turn it over to Ryan Piper to tell you a little bit more about our customers.
Thanks, Whitney. So some of these names you'll recognize, some of them you won't. We do a little bit of everything, and like the title says, our focus is on quality. I like to say we're problem solvers. It's a very fun company to work for, and we do very interesting things. So we're in a bunch of sectors. Obviously, everyone uses Amazon. You probably haven't heard of Atlas Air, but I'm sure you've got a package at your doorstep, and more than likely, it's flown on one of our jets at some point. Bottom right corner there, FedEx, UPS, DHL, everyone's heard of those companies. And basically, we fly for them on behalf of their customers around the world and during peak times of the year, mainly prior to Christmas. Thanksgiving to Christmas is usually when you hear from FedEx and UPS. A lot of other airlines that use our services around the world, NCA, Emirates, Qantas in Australia, we have a very long relationship with, going on 20 years. So again, we sell quality and we sell that we're problem solvers. Some recent accomplishments, again, fun company. We do a lot of different things. We have 10 passenger aircraft in our fleet. Half of them are VIP cabins. So we do NFL away games for 5 teams. We'll do soccer teams on tour. You see that there. We support concert tours around the world, moving equipment, moving people, and all of their things that go with it. And then in the auto racing world, also some charters there that we've supported at various times. Next slide is our fleet. So very diverse fleet, 115 aircraft total, 107 that Atlas operates, all Boeing, 4 different equipment types, 747 is the biggest, a couple variations there. The interesting one there is the bottom one that looks like a kind of like a 747, except a little bigger. That is the Boeing Dreamlifter. We support Boeing in production of the 787, moving parts from Japan back to the U.S. And then 777, high efficiency aircraft, good payload. We fly those for DHL. And then 767 and 737 domestically. Next slide, our value proposition. I'll say it again, we're problem solvers. So we have a variety of different customers. The thing that, I take from this slide is that we'll find a way to get what needs to happen. So ACMI stands for Aircraft Crew Maintenance and Insurance. That's somebody that wants to ship something, say like Peloton bikes. They don't have any of that. But during COVID and all the supply chain disruptions, that was someone who was able to come to us, and we were able to support with an ACMI agreement and move Peloton bikes back to the U.S. CMI would be someone that has an aircraft and just wants us to fly it. Very similar, except that we don't supply the aircraft. And then various other services related to a potential customer's needs. Whether they just need an aircraft, we can provide that, or if it's just charters, just one-off. One that we did recently was a wedding that we moved from Mumbai to Zurich. 2 aircraft worth of passengers moved to Zurich for the weekend for the wedding. We waited around, flew them back after the wedding was over. So very interesting stuff, variety of jobs, growing company, and we're very excited about our future. I'll hand it back over to Whitney.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. So this slide really just shows you the breadth of our global presence. Atlas Air Worldwide truly is a global company. We fly on average over 300,000 hours annually, over 60,000 flights across over 400 airports and spanning over 100 countries. We're extremely excited to move into our brand new facility that is on track to open this year, late spring, 2021. So this new building is it's ours. It's a dedicated office space. Right now, we are in Florence, Kentucky, sharing some office space with some other companies. So this is going to be specific to just us, and it's a part of our strategic plan to be a lot closer to our key customers in the region. And it will allow us to house 600 team members. So definitely a lot of room to support our continued expected growth. Right now, we have over 4,000 employees globally, and that's across several different departments. So some of the main departments that we have at Atlas Air are flight operations, ground operations, tech ops, so technical operations, systems ops, safety and regulatory compliance, and corporate. So our corporate departments would be like sales and marketing, IT, finance, procurement, legal, continuous improvement, and more. And this is not an all-inclusive list of our positions, but it's just a kind of a high-level overview of some of the departments that we hire into. So we certainly hire pilots. We hire lots of them every year. First officers, and then pathway programs for those that may not have the amount of hours needed to fly our aircraft. And then operations administration and crew administration. So these are folks that support our operations from the actual aircraft, the cargo piece, and also the crew, so the pilots. So they help with the scheduling and the planning and the record keeping, and those would include positions like crew schedulers, aircraft and maintenance planners, dispatchers, and records and data administration. And then on the ramp, these are folks that are working directly with our cargo and dealing directly with the aircraft. So we have load masters, cargo handlers, ground ops agents, and maintenance helpers, for example. In the warehouse, we have folks that are working directly with the cargo and also with the aircraft parts. So those might be parts runners, material clerks, management roles that we hire into. And so this is a great place to start, potentially entry level and work your way up to management. And then we do offer a variety of internships across multiple departments. These are going to vary annually based on business need, but usually they run in the summertime, spanning across 10 to 14 weeks. And then some of our main locations include our headquarters in Purchase, New York. We have our office space, as I mentioned, in Florence, and our new building in Erlanger. And then we have several warehouses as well. And then Miami, Florida is an office space and also a training center for pilots. So we definitely have many additional stations that we operate out of, many additional hubs across the US and internationally. So there's opportunity for you, pretty much anywhere you'd like to go, even if it is not domestic. And we're really proud of what we're able to offer to our employees. So this is kind of a comprehensive look at the package that we offer, from health and well-being, income protection, work-life balance, and financial well-being. Just overall, great offerings with medical packages, several different options there, medical, dental, vision, 401k with the company match. We do offer, time off from paid sick time, holidays, vacation days, and then, of course, several additional resources, goods and service discounts, travel discounts. So we do offer discounted airfare to our employees through the variety of partners that we have on the commercial side of the business. And so just overall, as you'll see there, I mentioned 401k. We have several partnerships outside of, just within Atlas Air. So great offerings for our employees, and those continue to expand each year. So very proud of that. And this last slide here, just to invite you to join us across our social media platforms, and clearly our website as well. So careers.atlasairworldwide.com. We have over 70 positions, I think, listed right now on our career site. A lot of different jobs for you to browse. Might be a good idea just to kind of get a better understanding of the operation and some of the requirements that each of the positions have. So that's all we have for you today, but we look forward to the Q&A. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Whitney. Great stuff. And I think you popped off, but great information. Now we're going to be hearing from some folks at DHL, Cliff and Martika. Here we go. And I think you all have some slides too, so I'll make sure to get those up, but ready to go when you are.
Morning.
All right, just pulling this up here. All right, can everyone see my screen? Presentation, I mean.
Yes.
All right, terrific. Thank you. So we want to thank everyone today for being a part of the Bus to Business Career Fair, and we're here to talk to you more about DHL, also known as the world's most international company. My name is Martika Ballman, and I'm the Senior Talent Acquisition Specialist here at DHL Express at CVG Hub, and with me is Clifford Ward.
Hi, I'm the recruiting manager for the CVG Hub.
And with that, here at the CVG Hub, we're a state-of-the-art facility equipped with the latest technologies to connect customer shipments to over 220 countries and territories. With that, we are strategically positioned so that our planes can reach 60% of the U.S. within an hour. And we are one of 3 global super hubs that ensure timely delivery of your shipments worldwide.
So what we have at the CVG Hub is different warehouse jobs, loaders, unloaders, forklift drivers. If you like to work outside and be around aircraft, we have our ramp and tug teams. They download all the material from the plane. They upload it when it's time to leave, and they also drive equipment from the plane to the building. As you can see in this slide, CVG is located in the Midwest. It's a strategic spot because it allows us to get through the United States within 2 hours, and it's all part of a spoke and wheel system. Very, very efficient. You'll see other competitors, FedEx and UPS, their main hubs are also located in the Midwest.
Since we started here in 2009, we started with 1,600 employees, and we've more than tripled our growth to today. We have over 5,000 employees. And we also want to note that with the pandemic, we did not have any layoffs. We actually continued to grow.
Yes, and with that growth, I just wanted to add it to that. We have people that grow within the company, starting in the front line, an associate level position. For example, we have Cody Harold, who's started 10 years ago with the company, and now she's the director of our ramp operation at night. So there's a lot of us that have started here at the frontline level or the associate level and worked our way up through the company. And that's what we're proud of. We can go back to the next one. So our campus, our side of it is 194 acres. We have over 1 million square footage. It takes a lot of highly motivated people to be able to push through 80,000 packages per hour, and that's what that facility is able to do. Our average piece count per night is over 300,000. It can hit anywhere to half a million pieces during our peak season volume. Throughout the day, we'll see 96 aircraft roughly. That increases again during peak season with the help of our Atlas Air, who was earlier, showed us that they work with us. We have a lot of different charter flights.
So to work in one of our entry-level ramp, sort, and warehouse positions, these are the requirements that we have. You need to be at least 18 years of age, must pass a DHL, TSA, and customs background, pass a drug screen, be able to lift 50 pounds on a regular basis, be able to stand for long periods, bend, stoop, and climb stairs and ladders, be willing to work in all weather conditions, must be able to read, speak, and understand English.
And some of the great benefits we have, which I think are amazing, medical, dental, vision. We have a 401k option, paid holidays, paid vacation, a retention bonus, a referral bonus, up to $5,250 a year in tuition reimbursement to any accredited college in the area, and up to 2 years of or 2 raises per year. So that's a great benefits we offer. We are not seasonal hiring. We are permanent hiring, part-time and full-time.
And if you're interested in learning more or setting up an interview today, you can text DHL at 97211 to apply, and they will be able to answer any questions that you have. And want to thank you all for being part of our presentation today. Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cliff and Martika. Great stuff. Now, last but not least, we're going to be hearing from Jen with Theme before we head over to our Q&A session. So if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll hear them. There we go.
Can you see it?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, yes, we can hear you.
I just want to make sure. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this morning. My name is Jennifer Ho, and I am the HR manager here at Theme CVG. I also have over here on the side, he's hiding right now, our line operations manager, Martin Fryer, who is going to help with any of the Q&As that we have at the end of this. So many of you are probably wondering what Theme is. We are an MRO. So your next question is probably going to be, what is an MRO? So MRO stands for maintenance, repair, and overhaul. This is an essential requirement to ensure that any type of aircraft is maintained so that they are safe and able to transport, passengers and cargo, like some of the other folks have talked about today. To give you a little bit of history about our company, Theme started, our owner, Fred Murphy, close to 30 years ago, and a friend of his started the business. They were literally two men in a truck. They were out at LAX, and they started working on aircrafts. So that's where the business started. And then 30 years later, we are close to almost 29 locations. We have over 1,100 employees at this point. And those employees are everywhere from Alaska to Miami, all over the United States. Our mechanics just last year serviced over 70,000 flights for numerous customers across the globe. So very exciting, and a lot goes on here. So to kind of let you know a few of the things that do go on, we have our line maintenance services. And what line maintenance means is that there's going to be maintenance that is going to be done on an aircraft. And typically this is done when they are on the ground during a normal turnaround. So what that means is when, DHL or, Atlas Air, when they're talking about cargo and that, they may be coming into the airport to unload some cargo and load it back up. And during that time frame, we have mechanics that go out and do some different things on the planes. It could be changing tires. It could be, anything that maintenance-wise to the plane needs to be done in a short period of time. So that's one side of our operation here at CVG. So the other side of our operation is what is called base maintenance. So base maintenance is typically done in a hangar environment. And this takes the aircraft out of service for a period of time. So the line maintenance, they are working on the plane as they are getting ready to go back in the air. Over in a hangar environment, they take an aircraft out of service for usually, 2 to 3 days, and then they do some extensive maintenance on it. So they could be doing anything from engine changes to fuel tank repairs. They could be doing, structural repairs on the plane, anything that, would take an extended period of time. we're very excited here at CVG. We have one of the largest hangars. It's 103,000 square feet, and it can actually fit 2 of Atlas's airplanes they were talking about earlier. We can fit 2 of those into our hangar. So it's an exciting thing to come in and see, 2 big planes being worked on, engines open, and people just, making repairs. We will, over the course of probably the next 8 to 12 months, have about 300 employees just here at CVG. So that will, be a continued growth that we have here. Just to go over, since most people don't know about FEAM, just to touch on our culture a little bit, we are a family. Our owners want it to be a family-owned business. We, try to ensure that when people sign on to work with FEAM, that they are never going to feel like a number. So you're never going to be part of that organization that is 10,000 people and your supervisor may not, know your name. Our goal is to ensure that, we treat everybody, as family, and we support and challenge and empower each of the people that work here for FEAM. So you're probably thinking, so what would I need to do if I wanted to think about being an aircraft mechanic? So mechanics have to be licensed. So they go, what they do is they get what is called an airframe and power plant license, which gives them the ability to do the maintenance on these planes and, other things. They get this license by typically going to a 2-year plan with a school. So we're lucky here in the tri-state area that we do have Cincinnati State is probably the most recognized that has an A&P course that folks can go through in that 2-year period. And then, a lot of times they have the ability to do, work as mechanic helpers and things like that while they're going to school to get a little exposure. So while these individuals are going to school, you go for 2 years, you do, normal written exercises, oral, practical, and then you have tests on all of those. So you have tests that are required by the FAA. And then once you pass those, you get that license, which gives you a ton of opportunity. Aircraft mechanics are in very, very high demand at this point, and they'll continue to be in a high demand. So this gives any individual that decides to go into this career so much opportunity. We start our mechanics right out of school anywhere from $26 to $28 an hour. That's just your first year. So think where you could be, 5-10 years down the road. Plus, not just, you could move into management positions, director positions, there's so many opportunities. So if you're somebody that has a very strong mechanical ability and, skills and likes to tinker and, fix cars and things like this, this could definitely be an opportunity for you. I strongly encourage anybody that would, be interested to, to look at programs here locally where you could go into, the A&P aircraft mechanic programs. And then hopefully, maybe, you never know, a couple years down the road, you could be working here and fixing, planes for us. So I encourage you to do that. Again, thank you for letting us share a little bit about FEAM and, what we do and what we are. And we will be here for questions and answers.
Great, thanks, Jen. I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody back up to the screen, and our Northeast Talent Pipeline Project Manager, Zach, will lead you all in a Q&A.
Thanks, Harper. All right, let's get into it here. Thank you guys for coming today, and it's really a lot of fun to hear all the different things that you're doing at CVG just in that one place. There's so many things going on and a lot of activity, so that's really just kind of fun to get an insight into that. I want to start with, actually, before I get started, I want to give everyone a reminder, we're watching the chat, so if you have any questions, feel free to put those in there, and I'll make sure that our panelists get those questions. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and lead off with a couple of questions. So for Jen Ho at Theme, and you mentioned that you have Martin there from your line operations. My question is, when it comes to aircraft maintenance, is there, folks who might not have experience with maintenance or tinkering on cars, what's some of the fun aspects of that work? Is there any kind of fun that happens in the maintenance hangars?
So, aviation maintenance is a wonderful career. The fraternity of the organizations, whether it's line maintenance, base maintenance, scheduled work, unscheduled work, planners, lots of people coming together to make decisions, talk about how to best do the job of repairing these aircraft and returning them to service. So there's a lot of fun. It's a great career. There is opportunities for everybody in aviation. If you're considering what to do for your future, please consider aviation. You won't regret it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've got a question for DHL. Anybody who wants to take this one? What are some of the career tracks in your company that you think are best suited for somebody who's starting right out of high school? What are not just their first job, but kind of a career trajectory that would start right after high school?
Well, most people that come in right out of high school go into the warehouse, but the career path is endless in DHL. We have sales positions, we have customs clearances, because everything that comes into this country has to clear through customs. So we have a dedicated team just to handle those shipments, researching, providing documentation. We have in-house maintenance for our equipment. So there's a route that they can go as well. Couriers, the people that actually deliver the packages to your locations. We've got IT people that come in through here. I know a gentleman that's worked on my unload when I worked in the operation. He's one of the head IT guys over here at the CVG Hub. So there's a lot of different career paths, not including the management aspect of it, going up to be a lead to a supervisor, all the way up to a director. So a lot of different avenues.
That's fascinating. And what if I was 18, just graduating high school, I got started in the warehouse and then went off onto one of those tracks like IT or something like that and realized I don't really care for this. Maybe I want to jump over to one of these other tracks. Is that, how difficult is that to do in your company?
Well, I'm an example of that. I started in the warehouse 20 years ago, spent 6 years in the operation. Then I took my career path to a completely different direction. I left my leadership role in the operation to become a customs clearance agent. Then I worked my way up there and I became a supervisor in those areas. And then I completely turned the other direction and went into HR and recruiting. So nothing to do with customs clearance. So it's doable. It's that's what we look for, to get you out of your comfort zone and learn different areas.
That's fascinating. Go ahead.
We also offer you the opportunity to do desk rides in different departments, because like in your example, you may decide you don't like what you thought you were going to set out to do. So we're able to allow people to shadow others in different departments to see if it's a good long-term fit for them.
Oh, that's fantastic. I really like hearing that you have that flexibility. And Clifford, how long ago did you say you started with DHL?
I started, October will be 20 years for me.
Oh, wow. All right.
I was 2 years out of high school when I started.
That's good to hear. We've got a question here from Scott Frazier. He says, If someone wanted to work in aircraft maintenance, do they need to obtain an A&P certification, airframe and power plant certification? And if so, where can they obtain that certificate?
So Scott, most people that are working as aircraft maintainers do have an airframe and or a power plant license. There are two different licenses allow you to do two different aspects of aircraft maintenance. Now, the schools that are available to you are practically in every city these days. But here in the tri-state area, we have Cincinnati State. They have an airframe and power plant program. It takes about 5 semesters to go through the program to be able to qualify for your airframe and your power plant license.
Wonderful. Thank you. We've got another question from Ryan Adams. He says he always likes to know what type of degrees or after-school training would be helpful to begin careers in your specific areas. So we've just covered maintenance, but the other areas that you folks are hiring for, what kind of degrees or training is good for someone to start with?
I can start off here with this one. So there's a variety of different career paths with all of the employers here today. And I think a lot of different certifications and educational programs would be a good match. So I know that there are several different for certifications in logistics overall. And as you may know, we are all logistics companies. So that's a great place to start and kind of opens up a wide variety of different career path options. Also, you may not think about this, but just overall business and customer service experience, because there are a lot of career paths that require that level of skill as well. So depending on whether you're interested more in the hands-on kind of tactical day-to-day operation or more of the administrative side of the business and maybe customer service or working with computers, office desk work. There's a lot of different options out there for different certifications and licenses, and even just overall degrees that would be very helpful.
Now, I'll just add in another area here at the airport that's high in demand is within our trades. So specifically electricians, HVAC technicians, plumbers, etc. And we have built out a co-op program in partnership with Gateway Community and Technical College where we'll hire individuals into the organization. They'll work here during the day and attend classes at night, working towards their licensure, making sure that they have hands-on experience. They have mentors along the way that they can ask questions to. They get increases along the way as they're completing their semesters at Gateway. And it works out really nicely for both the organization and the employees.
And I certainly agree with what Whitney said. Logistics paths are definitely helpful, being that we're a logistics company, but a variety of different programs will get you ahead here at the hub. And just wanted to mention, as part of our tuition reimbursement, you don't have to take logistics courses. So if you were interested in, say, IT and you wanted to go to school for IT, we will pay you to go to school in IT, even if you don't end up having an IT career here at the hub.
That's good to hear. Yeah, and I'm just generally curious too. And you seem to have covered a few options with this, but I just want to clarify. Is it possible to build a career in this industry without going to college for 4 years? Do you have some examples of that?
Hey Zach, I can speak to that a little bit just with my experience. I actually started in crew scheduling when I was in college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm sure that question's coming up because they're thinking about career options and trying to figure out what they want. My advice to that would be get your degree for sure, but start out doing your general requirements and go get a job at one of these companies and figure out what's a good fit for you, right? A lot of 18-year-olds don't know what they want to do when they enter college. They don't know what they want to do when they enter the workforce. So go jump in, start learning, figure it out. You might learn that you're in a position that doesn't require a degree and it's where you fit and you're happy. That might be a good path. You might learn that by the time you're nearly done with your requirements and it's time to get into some specialization, that you really like the puzzle solving aspect of crew scheduling, for instance, and you might choose to go a finance route or a logistics route. You might absolutely hate it and say, I'm going to go get my A&P, and that's fine too. But at least you have a foot in the door. You've learned how to work and how to get along with coworkers and how to acclimate yourself in the business. And in my opinion, that's part of your education that a college can't give you, right? And so go jump in, figure it out, and then and learn what you like and what you don't, and find your fit from there.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. Let me see if we've got any other questions here. Yep, chat's still open. If you guys have any other questions, just throw them in there. We'd love to hear from you all. I've got a question for Atlas. One of the things that's fascinating to me, well, and this is for DHL as well, being global companies, the possibility of working even outside the United States after starting at CVG and maybe landing a position elsewhere in the company. You know, there may be some students who are watching right now who just really want to see the world. You know, what's the opportunity there?
I can take that. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'll tag team after that. Go ahead.
So with us being one of the global shipping companies in the world, one of the most international shipping companies in the world, we are unified and we have one message. Our GSOP throughout the world is set up to where if you want to transfer to a different country and work, the same setup, same operation is the same thing you'll see in Leipzig, Germany, or Hong Kong. We have the same pillars, the same ideology, the same everything. So it just translates over to there. And I know for a fact that some of our current leadership roles are from Europe or the UK, and they're actually over here. So it is a very possibility. We encourage it as well.
Yeah, for Atlas, you saw the slide where we're in over 100 countries and 400 different locations. A lot of that, we don't have positions in those locations, but we do have positions of travel. I mentioned the flight attendant or the passenger fleet. We have flight attendants through they're not actually Atlas employees, but you would work with Atlas employees. Also load masters, so traveling load masters that go around with the jet, make sure that it's loaded properly and in compliance with all the regulations. We have station reps around the world, station managers that oversee, the coming and going of the aircraft, making sure that the freight is loaded correctly, palletized correctly. We have a massive sales presence in Asia, for instance. So if that was a route that you came into and learned the operation and then wanted to go live abroad, there could potentially be an opportunity there. A lot of different paths, both hands-on and in the back office type roles, and getting to see the world is a pretty cool opportunity. So I can see where that would be desirable.
Thank you. To kind of follow on, Clifford, on what you said about having folks working there from around the world, I imagine that can be a cross-cultural experience too. If there's students on here who are curious about other parts of the world but don't necessarily want to go there, it sounds like you probably can learn about it just by working with your coworkers at your company.
Oh, that is correct. I've learned a lot of different phrases and culture from different people that I've worked with in the past. Plus, when you get into a leadership role, they start sending you to training where you get to meet some of your colleagues that are from different countries and see how they operate and work and how they think. We go to Florida, and people from the Caribbean, Brazil, anywhere in South America, Mexico, Canada, they all come in, they all talk, and we just talk about best practices and stuff like that.
That makes sense. Let's close out here with a round robin. I'll call on each of you in turn, and I just want to ask for each of you what advice you would give to someone who is, kind of take yourself back to when you were 17 or 18, and think about what those first steps feel like, and what advice would you give to a student who is thinking about working in logistics or aviation, or might be thinking about something else? What would you want them to consider? So we'll start with Whitney.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm actually really excited to hear everybody's answer here. But I remember I started out, believe it or not, as a hostess in the restaurant world. I worked as a server and a waitress for a while, went on to banking, and it wasn't until my mid-20s that I discovered the world of recruiting. And it wasn't until just a couple years ago that I entered the world of aviation. Prior to that, I was in manufacturing. So I feel like I've bounced all over the place. And really the advice that I would have for you is don't ever for a second think that you're on the wrong path, because any job that you have is going to add to your skill set to be ultimately in the right place at the end. So it may take you quite a while to figure out what that looks like, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're taking in new ideas, you're learning from other people. As Cliff mentioned, new cultures, different diverse experiences are all going to help you get to where you're meant to be. So just, take it one step at a time, try out new things. If you don't like what you're doing, there's always room to do something else. You're never stuck. There's a lot of great opportunity out there. And right now, especially as we're kind of rebounding here from COVID, there's a lot of opportunity out there for everybody. So just stick with it.
Thanks, Whitney. Ryan.
Yeah, that was good advice. So I was a bonehead when I was 18 years old. So that question is fitting. My advice is just get out and learn how to work, right? Learn how to get along with colleagues and coworkers and figure out what you like doing, and then pursue it with 110% of your effort. As somebody not in the HR world and managing an operational group, we look for people like that want to work hard, that want to have a good attitude, and that are, maybe they don't know what they want to do forever. But I feel like if we can get people like that in the door, and if you're a pliable employee that is willing to just jump in and learn and figure stuff out, there will be a place for you. And if it turns out to be in aviation, you'll have the bug, right? And everybody on the screen probably knows what I mean. Once you're in it, you're never going to leave. It's a lifelong love affair that you'll have to live with. So my encouragement is just figure out what you like doing and jump in and try something. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Put your heart and soul into it, and let that drive, where you go next.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's go to Clifford.
So, Whitney and Ryan said a lot of it. I'll just add, don't settle, just come in and look to get better. I always tell some people that I hire that, what's your career path? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself doing? And if they talk about being in management or leadership, I said, well, have that conversation with your supervisor right away. Say, this is my career path. This is what I do. It's our job to get you there. So let that put that ownership on us to help you get there. But for you guys, get that conversation out as soon as possible.
Thanks, Clifford. Let's go to Martika.
So much great advice given already, and nodding along, and agreeing with everyone so far. I would say make sure you're looking at the relationships that you're building today. Don't look at them as just temporary, because they can be lifelong. Networking is so important in so many different careers and industries. And like Whitney, I've been in different industries as a recruiter. I've done retail, I've done customer service, restaurants. So you never know where you're going to end up and what path you're taking. And similarly, you won't know the path that others around you are taking. So I always encourage people to get on LinkedIn and connect with people, and to make sure that you're always building bridges and connecting with others. Also, take advantage of benefits. You know, a lot of the companies today, we discussed having tuition reimbursement. Having a couple college courses under your belt never hurt anyone. If college isn't for you, make sure you think of the referral bonuses. There's money on the table there. Just a lot of different opportunities to get a bigger paycheck, and just don't stop asking questions as well. I guess I'll stop there.
Oh, thank you, Martika. Appreciate that. Let's go with Jennifer at FEAM.
Hello. I'm not sure I can follow up with anything. I think everybody's taken anything. So Lindsay's going to get to get the end of it. But I think everybody has said the same thing almost overall. You know, you don't have to know what you're going to do. You know, you have to get out there. I went to school to be an accountant. I was sure I wanted to be an accountant. And I now hate numbers and love people. So that's how things change. You know, I went to school for that. So, you know, your path can change. You know, take advantage of new and different situations and challenge yourself. And you will find, you know, the right fit for what you want to do.
Thank you. Let's go to Martin. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about getting into maintenance or mechanics in general?
So aviation, there is a job for everybody in aviation, whether you're an artist or a pilot or a technology person. There is a job for you in the aviation world. It's domestic. It can be right here in your own town. You never have to leave town. It's international. I travel all over the world in my career. Where do you want to go? There's an airport in every single city of the world. You can work any place you want to work. There's always a job for you in aviation. Aircraft mechanics have a great life. Pays well. It's a relatively, I don't want to say simple, but the path to get into being an aircraft maintenance technician is designed for a person who may not be technically inclined, to teach them how to be a good aircraft maintainer. So you can take a person who's never held a wrench or a screwdriver in her hand and teach them how to be a good technician. The career path is one where you're learning every single day. Your entire career, you will learn something that will amaze you in this business. It's never a boring day. It's very exciting. You can go anywhere you want with an aviation career. An aviation maintenance career is very exciting for just about anybody who wants to get into the profession. It is a profession. There are no barriers except ones you put in front of yourself. Please consider aviation. You'll love it.
Thanks, Martin. I'm thinking about having a second career in aviation maintenance. That sounds like a place to be. Lindsay, what advice would you give to the 17, 18-year-old who is just trying to sort out what the future looks like?
Yeah, good question. And I think everyone's kind of touched on it, but I build meaningful relationships. You know, I'm confident that I can reach out to anybody on this call today, those at Atlas, DHL, and FEAM, and ask them a question, and they'll be willing to help me. You know, don't be afraid to ask those questions, build those meaningful relationships. And at the end of the day, we're all a big team here at the airport, and we're ready to help each other.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you all for your time today. And I really appreciate the, everything that you've put into this question and answer session, and just really helping the kids in Kentucky kind of figure out, what some of the options are out there. I learned things today about CVG and all the different possible career paths. And so I really appreciate everything that you all have put into this. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Big thank you to Lindsay, Whitney, Ryan, Cliff, Martika, Jen, Martin, and Zach for a great panel. Like Zach said, I know I learned a lot and ended with some great advice. So thank you all again for a great session. Just a couple of housekeeping things for our next session will be next Wednesday on March 31st at 10 a.m. Eastern with Sarah Bradley, who is on Top Chef, the TV show on Bravo. She's the executive chef at the Fright House restaurant in Paducah. I'm a big Top Chef fan, so I know I'm very excited about that session, and we hope to see you all again next week. Thanks so much and have a great day.